we have station where we have, give or take, 6,000 LLM engineers, people who are deeply technical. They understand engineering, they understand maths, understand machine learning. They're able to do cutting-edge work on building large language models. And on the other end of the spectrum, we do have your software engineers. By some account, some to the tune of 60 million of engineers globally. The question I have, and maybe for Paige, would be, well, how would you define AI engineer, and how do you think AI engineer is different from just a software engineer or maybe a data scientist, which is also a relatively kind of new role description, right?
I think I've worked with each of these different kinds of teams. I started my career doing machine learning as an engineer around, I want to say, 2009. So back before it was cool, back when we were still doing kind of very simple things, building models out of, mostly tabular data and having to experiment with things that looked and felt very similar to scikit-learn. But the sort of job market has certainly evolved since then. I was part of the team building the Gemini models at DeepMind up until just recently. And the skill set that is required if you want to be a machine learning researcher or someone building a model, it's very, very different than someone who actually makes it real and makes it useful out into the world. And one of the things that excites me the most about AI engineering is very similar to what Nikon just mentioned. It's someone who's able to take these models, not necessarily build them, but to be able to use them, to sort of prompt them effectively, to compose them with things like tools use or function calling or code execution, and to really deeply understand users' problems, to implement a system that solves those needs. So when I think about this new kind of like brave new world of AI engineering, it really does feel like someone who's capable of understanding how to use a model, how to modify it if needed to meet a given domain requirement, and who's capable of really, really understanding user problems, such that they can build a solution that's differentiated and that will have a long lifetime, or at least a longer than 6 months lifetime, and solve a real customer problem. And I think one of the things that y'all have probably also observed is that these teams of company or the new startups are very, very small, right?